Bush versus Clinton, it was the matchup, obviously, that we saw in '92, and it could be the matchup once again in 2016 as well. Now, former Florida Governor Jeb Bush doing a star turn in Texas this weekend at an event celebrating the 25th anniversary of his father, George H.W. Bush's presidency. Jeb, the younger of the two Bush brothers here, used the occasion to separate himself from other Republicans, especially when it comes to social issues like education and immigration. Bush, whose wife is Mexican-American, even went so far as to say that many immigrants who enter the U.S. do so as an act of love for their families and should be treated differently than other undocumented immigrants. Let's say Christie's problems in Jersey, like Dominic say, or if not fatal, will preclude him from a White House. He would fill a void, that there wouldn't be another moderate that comes to the top of the head right away. Could a Bush, with all the baggage that comes along, be elected?
Conservative who is being very responsible on those two issues. You know, and you know, when we had parades in Bridgeport, I saw more Mexican Americans there than almost anyone else. They were celebrating this country. So at any rate, we got to solve the problem, and Jeb Bush wants to be a part of solving it.
Two things, though. Would the Republican Party as constituted today ever let a Jeb Bush get through a primary gauntlet?
He would get through it,
really?
Because he would come across as very reasonable and likable, and he had a good history as the governor. So no, he's a class act, and there's some who definitely felt he would have been better than his brother George.
He might be able to get through it. He might be able to get the nomination.
But you say the last name, though, is a non-starter.
I don't think there's any way he could be elected president, not with that last name, not with people's memories of George W. Bush.
I would like this to be taped, and I want to show it.
Same thing I say, Congressman. Let's tape it and play it back.
Well, you know the poll numbers better than anybody. Would his biggest problem be his last name, or would his biggest problem be at least moderate positions on immigration and some other social issues that he's seen? Or is it C, that there's some family baggage too?
Well, I don't think the family baggage. I mean, what family in America has been vetted more than the Bushes? I mean, I understand his immediate family. There have been some questions, but you know, I think the part about Bush versus Clinton, look, it neutralizes. People have to choose one or the other. So if he's running against Clinton or she's running against him, the last name is off the table. The problem for both of them is if the other one isn't running, and then the last name does become an issue.
People still remember the Clinton administration with somewhat. Most people, a lot of people, some excluded.
But can I say, you know, watching him over this last few days, I have to say, it looks to me like he is one of those people who's saying, look, I'll do it, but I don't want to fight for it. I don't want it to get ugly. I want to rise above.
I got other things going in my life.
And we all know that that's not going to happen. So from my perspective, I feel like he's doesn't have the fire to do it at this point. That's my take on it.
He's the only one that that has a shot at beating Hillary Clinton. He can use his family as a net positive. I mean, look, I know it's New York City, but look at what it did for the current mayor, de Blasio. The fact that his wife is of a different race. He could travel the country with his Mexican-American wife. The fact that his daughter went through drug rehab, all of that is a positive for Americans that are looking for a reason to be able to connect with, you know, to have a beer with or whatever.
Someone who has empathy.
Right.
And he has it.
We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back.